Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for, this is your bonus November reading. We're going to do just a Celtic cross for the bonus reading, and we're going to see what comes up for you. You start off with the Fool here, and this is just coming up in your general energies. So, the Fool can represent a new beginning or, wanting a new beginning. And, I feel there could be obviously a lot of success in having a new beginning at this time. So, any look at this even. You go Ace of Swords to King of Swords to that Six of Wands there, and you have the Knight of Swords over here. And so this tells me that you've been learning about something for a while, because the King of Swords is the card of like knowledge and wisdom. So, I feel what you could be taking a leap of faith on is, something that you already know a lot about, or that you have researched in, to some extent, right? The Knight of Swords says maybe you've already tried this, or maybe you've already kind of, tried to take a leap of faith in a direction. And so, I kind of get the feeling that you've already had a back to the drawing board type of moment. This is something that's already happened, like in the past. And I don't know, just like the feeling I get off the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords can represent rushing, so it tells me that maybe you feel like you, tried to rush like a new beginning with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is coming up as your crossing energy on that Fool. And the Knight of Swords isn't like a bad card, but again, it can represent being too hasty. But like, that's not really what I feel here. Again, I kind of just get this feeling that whatever you're doing in your life, it's like you've tried it before, you've already had to go back to the drawing board. Maybe you didn't have enough knowledge or enough wisdom with that King of Swords there, but now you're like having a victory, or you're about to. So, if you've been feeling like giving a project a second chance, or if you've been feeling like giving, something in your life a second chance, I would say that this is definitely a big yes from the universe. Really, I feel that you need to believe in your skills. You have the Three of Pentacles as what is on your mind. And, the Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. He's done a good job. Not only that, he's gone above and beyond as well. This right here is a fire triangle. There's a water triangle right here. And that is kind of like the icing on the cake. It kind of, to me, represents a couple of things on the Three of Pentacles. I think I said Three of Swords, but Three of Pentacles, it represents like quality, number one, and going above and beyond. But the water triangle is kind of like more dreamy. It says that you know how to do something. Even the Fool, says you know how to do something. He's got this tiny little sack on his back. And I always say he's like about to go through the whole entire Major Arcana. So he's about to have this big, long journey that he's about to go on. And I feel for a lot of you, it's like kind of like you're over-prepared, but I feel like you know how to just do something, really, really well. And I feel that is the skill that you need to, either practice, or that is the skill that you need to use. This could be for work or business or whatever. And, I feel like there's going to be a lot of success because of it. I also feel like you need more fun, which I think is true for everyone. So you have this lady right here, and she has polka dots on her cloak. And, I feel for a lot of you that the polka dots can represent taking things too seriously. Some of you could be like taking love too seriously. We go down to the lovers here, from the Three of Pentacles to the King of Swords. This could represent like attracting someone who's older than you, and someone who has like a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So, if you're looking for love, it could be that type of person. Definitely could be an air sign. I mean, you have a lot of air here. So, could be any sign. General reading. Take it how it resonates. But, I feel like it could be someone who's older than you. In the area of your foundation, you have the Ace of Swords, which I really like. The Ace of Swords kind of tells me that you're living your truth, or at least you are more focused on living your truth, because the Ace of Swords is the truth. It's also laser-like focus. It is being super focused on the things that you want and desire in your life, and kind of cutting out the rest. The Ace of Swords cuts both ways. And there's this palm frond right here. Sorry, I can't get my fingers to work today, right here, and there's an olive branch over here. The palm frond kind of represents the sacrifice in the tarot. The olive branch can be an offer of peace, but really it's a symbol of abundance as well. So I feel for some of you, it's like there are some sacrifices you're making. We just had that Libra eclipse. I've talked all about this, that Libra eclipse. I think everybody has had to make some sort of sacrifice. You have the world in your past position. This is like your passing position, what you are leaving in the past. What's really funny is that, in the major arcana, again, we go from the Fool to the world, and then we start all over again. And the Fool is going towards the world here. So, I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel this is almost like confirmation for your path. That's how it's popping into my head. Because the Fool, I don't think you're going back to the past, right? I just think that the reading itself is saying that you are, what you are thinking about doing with your life right now is the correct direction. And I feel that you need to stop doubting yourself as well, because I feel like some of you are thinking about things and then saying like, oh, I'll never have this, or, it's impossible for me to do X, Y, and Z. And really, in your very near future, you have the King of Swords. While I do feel this could be a person coming in for you, I also kind of feel like this is you. I feel like you're sitting in a position of knowledge and wisdom. It's like you know what to do. And really, ending with that Six of Wands tells me that as well. Six of Wands, the guy on the Six of Wands, he has been to war, and he's coming back from war. So it kind of says that you have been through something, you like a learning experience in your life, and now you're coming back to success. And, I think that's what's going on here. And the King of Swords says that you have something like knowledge and wisdom to share. And so, again, if you did have a back to the drawing board type of moment like I described, or, if you had a period in your life where you had to learn a bunch of things or go through a lot of lessons, I feel like these lessons are going to be extremely valuable for you, kind of like moving forward into the future. In the area of the next few months, you have the Lovers, and the Lovers to me is obviously love. So if you're looking for love, there could be love. This could be like something that develops over time. I don't know, relationships seem kind of like slowish at the end of the year here, but almost like in a good way, like you just meet a person, your friends, and then, it kind of goes from there, right? So I kind of feel there could be a new person coming in for you here. I'm not even sure you know this person. Some of you, obviously, but it's a general reading, but for some of you, I'm really focused. This is your higher self angel, and it's almost like I feel the universe is trying to bring two people together here, and it's going to lead to a lot of happiness I'm getting as well. I'm really focused on the top half of the card with the sun and the higher self angel right here. So I feel for some of you, you could be having a person that's kind of like more divinely guided coming into your life. For others, I feel like you are doubting yourself. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Moon, and the Lovers can also just represent being at a crossroads, having a choice to make, right? So I feel like you're like thinking about picking a new path or moving in a new direction in your life, and I feel like the Fool says you're not going to have all the answers. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we are in a moon period. I talk about this all the time. I think that no one knows what they're going to do. I always tell people this should like motivate you. If you if you talk to any like super successful person, they all basically say the same thing. They had no freaking clue what they were doing. They just did it, right? So I feel that here with the Moon. It's like, yes, it's coming up in the area of your closest relationships, but I feel like it's saying that some of you, it's like maybe you want to go start a business, or maybe you want to start a side hustle, or maybe you want to go move to Alaska and, homestead or something like that, right? I don't know. But like whatever it is, I don't think you're going to know how to do it, but I kind of feel like the Moon is encouraging you to do it anyway. It is funny that it's coming up in the closest relationships, because this would kind of say that you're like walking a path on your own, and so there might be some changes that you're making that you have to do on your own. For some of you, I feel like there's something that you're like hesitating on, or like a question that you have. I'm not so sure what this is, like that's popping into my head here, Taurus. It's like maybe you have a job, right? And it's like it's like not perfect, and it's like you have these other ideas, and I kind of feel maybe you're trying to balance things out with the Ace of Swords. It's a card of balance, but I also kind of feel like you need to focus on this right here, which is this right here is your future feelings, and you have the Four Cups. You don't have to be dissatisfied, is what I feel like this card is saying. It's like saying, if there are things that are not satisfactory, I feel like the universe is trying to get you to stop being like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of things. And, I'm not saying that you're not like committing to things, but what I am saying is that, if you have a job, but you rather do like a project that you have, or you rather go get a new job, I kind of feel the Four Cups is like saying, well, go and get it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Star came up, because she's kind of like dipping her toes in the water. And that's the feeling I get in this reading. It's almost like you're like almost there. I feel like you are almost at this point of like really doing something, but I'm also kind of wondering this. The reason I say I'm wondering is because this is not really intuitive, but kind of the feeling I get here is that there are things that you're allowing to stop you. Like maybe you're afraid to quit your job because you're afraid your boss will be mad, or maybe you're afraid to have a side hustle because your boss will be mad, or maybe you're afraid to break up with a person because you don't want them to be sad and all this other stuff. But and I don't really see a breakup here. I'm just giving you some examples, but I kind of feel this is saying you need to you really need to focus on your own fulfillment, and you're very close. 4 cups to me, I've said this like 10 times this week during these readings, the monthly readings, that to me, it like says you have all the ingredients to make something. I always say it's like baking a cake. You have the flour, the sugar, the eggs, but you're just not mixing them together. And I kind of feel that could be leading to dissatisfaction. I kind of feel like you need to look at your past battles, things that you've been through. And again, this isn't about living in the past. This is more about kind of just like seeing how far you've come, and also being able to connect the dots, which I'm pretty sure I said to you in one of your more recent readings as well. I feel there's a need for you to do that because I feel if you kind of like look at the lessons that you've learned in life, and then if you look at like the mountain in front of you, I don't really feel it's a mountain, but it's like you're trying to accomplish something. I feel like you'll see that it's like going to be much easier to accomplish than you think, because it's like you already have learned the lessons that could pop up in something that you're about to do. I hope that makes sense, but that's kind of like what I'm getting here off the 6 wands. I don't know. This reading is flowing very nicely, so I feel like this is a good thing, not a bad thing. We're going to clarify now. With the Fool and the Knight of Swords, you have these 7 wands. I feel like you have to open up a little bit here. I kind of feel like there's something, I don't want to say that anyone's like missing out on anything, right? But I do get this energy, of people missing out right now, but it's not really missing out. It's just, I think that people are kind of like more and more connected. And so I always tell people, like, if you come up with an idea, for example, you put it into the, collective consciousness, it's like someone's going to pick up on it. It's crazy. I'm actually working on some videos right now. And another person that I watch, they were talking about things that I'm working on. Like, I'm not saying there's some, universal consciousness collection thing going on here, but it's just kind of interesting because they were using some of the words that, like, I was thinking about, right? So I was like, man, I need to get my ass moving before more and more people talk about things that I come up with, right? I'm not saying that person stole my ideas from my brain or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, it's in the collective consciousness, like these, all these ideas and things like that. So it kind of like, proved it to me, right? And so I kind of feel this is like saying that. It's like saying you're coming up with ideas, but, before someone else gets to jump on you, because, you're putting the energy out there, you might as well commit to it. And I also feel like you need to open up here. Like, again, for those of you, I wouldn't really say this is, a full-on love reading, but if you do want love, I feel it's here. And the 7 wands is just saying you have to open up. With the 3 of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles says, get your ass moving. Knight of Pentacles is, playing it too safe. And so I feel this is saying, like, it's not time for you to play it safe. Of course, don't take any ridiculous risk, but, I feel it's time for you to kind of plant seeds in new directions here. Knight of Pentacles is another card. He normally has those oak leaves on his helmet, which represent knowledge and wisdom. So, this really tells me you have everything you need to kind of make something successful. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. Love it. 2 aces. It is crazy that in these monthly readings as well, multiple people have had multiple aces again. So clearly we're in a time of new beginnings. And the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. Normally there is a crumbling castle in the back of the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands kind of wants you to focus forward, wants you to focus on things that inspire you, excite you, and all that other good stuff. And I feel like you're ready, even though maybe you feel like you're not ready with that 4 cups. With the World, you have the 2 of Swords. I feel like you're letting go of indecision here. This is great to have this. The 2 of Swords is kind of like indecision. It's a card of like being stuck in a stalemate. And again, it is that energy of trying to mediate a situation. Sometimes, I literally just said this, right? The 2 of Swords to me, it's like sometimes I see her as like a mediator. Like she's trying to, judge 2 sides of something, right? But there's a new island behind her. And I always say, like, sometimes I feel the 2 of Swords is trying to make 2 sides happy when really the only side that you should be making happy is you. And so, I kind of feel that going here to this 4 cups. It's like, if you're trying to make everybody happy, then you're just going to be miserable. And, I feel this is saying you need to make some decisions for you at this point. With the King of Swords here, you have the Queen of Swords. I'm pretty sure you had this exact setup in your last reading. I'm pretty sure. Queen of Swords and King of Swords are like my least favorite divine counterparts. So, but I kind of like I'm pretty sure what I said to you in your last reading is that it's almost like you have a person you're interested in, but you're not talking to this person right here. So I feel, and again, I feel like you need to open up, or, there needs to be some sort of communication clearly so that you can get this moving forward. And, that's all I'm really getting. I also feel like, again, I feel like you need to be more confident in your direction is what I'm getting here. It's like, I feel if you're like thinking about starting new projects or doing new things in your life, this to me is a big yes for your direction. With the Lovers, you have the Two of Cups. So, definitely could be a soulmate coming in for you if you're looking for love. Two of Cups obviously is a perfect match, but also, it's kind of interesting that I said divine guidance with that Lovers, because Two of Cups to me can sometimes represent you and your higher self. So it can say that your higher self is trying to motivate you to action in a direction or communicating with you. This could be like in your dreams, your daydreams, those sorts of things. So I would make sure that you're tapping into your dreams and daydreams or paying attention to them. You might want to write down your dreams in the morning. I feel like they could be holding something, but also could be a divine counterpart. With the Moon, you have the Knight of Wands, another card of mystery. Normally on a traditional Knight of Wands, actually this one has it. It's kind of hard to see, but there are these three pyramids right here. And on a traditional Knight of Wands, there are the three pyramids in the background, and they kind of represent a mystery. They kind of represent the fact that he's going on an adventure, and he doesn't really know what's going to pop up on that adventure. He just has a thirst for adventure, and I kind of feel that's what this is saying. It's like, there could be something mysterious, obviously, with the Moon here to you, something that you're learning about or something that you want to do with your life, and maybe you're not exactly sure how to do it, but the Knight of Wands kind of says, well, figure it out anyway, or like learn how to do it anyway, and, go on the adventure. It'll lead to a lot of success. With the Four of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Temperance, sometimes I feel, is like trying to make something perfect, right? And so it really isn't a card of perfection, but intuitively that's what's popping into my head here. There's something about perfection, like trying to be too perfect, or trying to make sure that the environment is perfect. I feel like I say this to you a lot as well. Like, I feel you just need to get started. And I think this is true for everyone, right? I get a lot of like Three of Wands, Two of Wands popping up in readings. Those cards to me kind of represent waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. And I kind of get the same thing here. It's like he's trying to turn water into wine, but normally there's that path behind him and it goes up to a crown. It's like the path to glory, and he could just go up that path, but he's not. So I feel for some of you that this is saying like, hey, instead of like trying to make something perfect, just get started on whatever it is you're thinking. I really feel a lot of you are thinking about a project, business, a side hustle. Even if you're retired, you could be building a garden in your backyard, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But it's like you're thinking about something, and instead of like waiting for things to be perfect, I would just get started. Again, I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make is they like wait for the conditions to be right instead of just like getting started, and then the conditions will become right. Like, that's how it works. With the Six of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card of resting, relaxing, recovering. So I would definitely take as much time as you need to rest, relax, recover. But I also kind of feel like you've been hoping or praying for some blessings. I really do kind of feel the universe is saying here that you could be delaying, or it, like, I don't think this is true necessarily. Like, I don't think this is how the universe works, right? I think we're just here to have an experience, and, I don't think there is a should have been or anything like that, right? But it's almost like the universe is saying, like, you could have a blessing right now, whatever it is that you're hoping and wishing for, but you have to go and get it. We're going to pull 5 main themes. So you have this publicity card. I do feel like some of you could be getting a lot of attention. So if you've ever wanted to like have a career or a business that involves getting attention, or that could bring a lot of attention into your life, it looks to me like some of you could be starting that, or you're working on that. And I feel there's a lot of attention coming in for you. I tell everyone to get as much attention as they possibly can right now. So again, this is work, business, love, money, spiritually, whatever. You want to draw your attention to the things that, kind of make you feel good about whatever it is that you desire, right? But also try to get attention on your work if you do good work. Next, you have this impulsiveness card. We got this impulsiveness energy on the Knight of Swords, right? But this is actually kind of a lucky card because there's this horseshoe up here. And kind of like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, I don't know that I would say this is like second chance vibes, but it is kind of like a second chance that I see here. It's something in your life where you've gone back to the drawing board already once, and maybe you've already had to kind of like reinvent something in your mind, or you're like change the way you're doing things, and it's like now you're trying it again. And I feel like it'll be much more successful, whatever this is. You have this control card. Excuse me. This is actually a good card, but it kind of, I do feel, is the need to release control, but you could be trying to control things by trying to make things perfect when that will never happen. Like I said, I'm getting this weird thing about perfection in this reading. I actually feel it's a really good reading. And, it's saying to me, the universe is like, okay, like there's some blessings that you need to like get going on here that we want to give you, but it's like you have to stop like trying to control the, environment or trying to control the circumstances or whatever. You have to get started and then things will become right, is kind of what this is saying to me. So, I would get moving, although that is a very good card. It's kind of like the World card. You have this influence card. Every single person has had something about like a person getting in between a new connection. So I would be careful. Like if you're interested in a person, I would be careful if like their ex messages you and says something, or if like a person messages you about this person and says something. It might not be true. Again, everybody's had something about this, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But it could just be that time, right? We have these weird eclipses and all this other stuff. So like I said, I would go directly to the source, even outside of love. I feel like every single person has had something of like going directly to the source, not listening to external people. Even if like you hear that your company's going under from like some random dude in the office, it's like maybe you want to talk to your boss about it instead of like freaking out and quitting or something like that, right? So it could be anything. Finally, you have the secrets card. It's actually kind of like a good card. I feel this reading is encouraging you to look into things that you don't understand with the moon. So it's like saying, don't just look at something and say, oh, this is a mystery. Learn as much as you can about whatever you're working on, because that will uncover the mysteries and that will lead to the most success. Pretty simple reading here, Taurus. I feel it's really encouraging you to take action, because again, there's clearly blessings. The universe wants to bless you here, is kind of like what I'm getting. But thank you for being here. And definitely, yes, we did that. I'm losing my mind. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.